Hey guys, I'm going to talk about two of the most hated people on YouTube, Travis Bagent and Michael Todd. Okay, I'll start with Michael. You hate Michael because of the King's move. All right, that's it. There's absolutely no other reason to hate Michael Todd. He's not a dick. He's not mouthy. He's just, he gets aggressive at the table, but if you don't, then you've never been passionate about anything. So that's the reason you hate Michael, is because of the King's move. You know the reason more people don't do the King's move? It's not because of honor or any stupid bullshit like that. No. It's, if you call it dishonorable, no, go fuck yourself, all right? A win's a win. If you can do it, get away with it, and win, a win is a win. But no, that's not the reason more people don't King's move. The reason people don't King's move is because it's hard. It's hard to pull off correctly. It's hard to do right. It's something you really have to practice. Now, people's response to that is, well, Michael Todd has a bone lock because his arm doesn't straighten. All right, I've hung around Michael numerous times. I've been around him in candid situations when he's relaxed, and yes, I can verify his arm does not straighten out. However, it's an insult to say it to Andre Pushkar, Dennis Saplinkoff, Jerry Caderet, Travis Bagent, Dave Chafee. Basically, you're saying those guys are weak as shit. Because every one of those guys, Devin Larratt, all of those guys can break bones like they're fucking pencils, okay? If Michael Todd were to lay there and let his arm freaking rest against some sort of perceived bone lock, his arm would snap like a twig, all right? I could break his arm if he were to do that, all right? And a lightweight could break his arm if he were to do that. So no, he is not sitting there and letting his arm rest on some perceived bone lock, you fucking knobs. No, he is pronating hard as shit. His hand is like iron. He's pronating straight up, back, and through. That is what Michael Todd is doing in the King's move, okay? There's a defensive King's move, there's an offensive King's move. You can hear him talk about that. Jim Coyle's offensive King's move, if you ever get a chance to look at it, is absolutely nasty. It's insane. But yeah, there are different kinds of King's moves, and if you think he's just sitting there resting for some reason, you're a fucking idiot. That's not what's happening at all. That's not how it works. So, if you want to hate him, go ahead. But if you actually do some looking, and you'll see that arm wrestlers don't hate him. And you'll also see that, if you actually step to the table, any of these guys that hate him, and learn what he's doing, you might just gain a little bit of respect for it. Personally, I don't use it. It's not my move. But you'll gain a whole new respect for the King's move. All right. Moving on, Travis Bagent. Everyone hates Travis Bagent because of his mouth. Well, once again, most of the people that hate Travis Bagent aren't even arm wrestlers, or they've never met him. He's just to hang out with. Travis Bagent is a fucking cool guy. Great attitude, pretty well down to earth, fun to be around. A lot of people got pissy about the thing with John Brzezinski a couple years ago in Arizona. Okay, I was the guy on the mic in that video. I was there. I hung out with John and Travis all day that day. They were just having fun and bullshitting. The whole thing was having fun and bullshitting. There was no $10,000. There's never money at these things. Travis does this everywhere. Okay? Travis will just as quickly get up on stage and lose on camera. Just like he's done with the football players. He's done it with one of the old University of West Virginia football players and one of the local high schoolers. He's done it. He did it with Scott Mendelson, even though Scott doesn't believe it. Scott Mendelson did not beat Travis Bagent, okay? He didn't. Travis was paid to be there. He went and toyed with Scott and had a good time, and that's it, and he lost on camera. Travis doesn't care about that stuff. People ask, okay, why isn't he going over to Russia and pulling elites right now? Why isn't he competing and pulling with the best anymore? Well, he owns the NAL, which he's making very good money doing. He's having a great time doing it. I've run several of the NAL tournaments. Every one, he said, get me a super match with somebody. I don't care who it is. So the first people I go to are Michael Todd, Devin Larratt, Dave Chafee, and whoever else I can get to come down. The thing is, number one, you have to pay them to come down, which I don't blame them. I mean, why would you just fucking come to pay to pull Travis Bagent? You know, it's not like they don't know who he is. You know, they pulled him before. Everyone knows Travis. You're not just going to pay just to come pull Travis, okay? And I can't afford to fly them down. And so Travis always wants to find somebody local or find whoever will come in. He doesn't care who it is. He'll arm wrestle anybody. But anybody who wants to come to the NAL, he will arm wrestle you. But the guys in the WAL aren't doing it because Steve Kaplan, the owner of the WAL, isn't going to be real happy if its guys are going out and losing to Travis Bagent on camera, all right, or even arm wrestling in Travis's league because they're under contract with the WAL. Why isn't he going overseas? Well, let's see. His son is the star quarterback at Shepherd University, and he's got 3 more kids that are going to have to go to college. Are you going to pay for him to go overseas? No. His sponsors are Cooper Tires and Rockwell Watches, okay? Their money's in the United States. Their money's with Travis Bagent. They're keeping their money in the United States, you know, which makes complete sense. They aren't going to just pay for him to say, okay, I'm going to go over to Russia and pull Saplinkov or pull whoever. No, or pull Levin or whoever it is, all right? He was set to pull Oleg and Pushkar in Moldova before that accident happened. He was ready to go pull both of them. Not too many people know about that, but that was going to happen if the accident hadn't happened. That was already set. So, I mean, he's more than willing to pull these guys, but he's not going to cough up his own money to do it. Those days are past. He's making money from arm wrestling. He's not losing money from arm wrestling. So, I mean, your hate towards Travis, if you hate Travis that much, that's fine. Go fucking meet him, all right? He's a super cool guy. And if you're hating on him because he's not pulling big competition, he's taking care of his family, all right? He has a wife and 4 children that he has to take care of. Flying overseas doesn't, you know, that doesn't make any sense, especially if nobody's going to pay for him to go overseas. And I'm sure John Brzezinski has flown him over a few times because John flies for free because he's worked for the airport for so long. And before that, he probably had a few sponsors that sent him to places, to send him to Zloty Tour and send him to the Worlds and all that stuff. But right now, like I said, he's got his priority is the NAL, Rockwell, and Cooper Tires. That's who's paying him. That's who's putting food on his kid's plate. That is who he is sticking with. So, you know, if you want to get all bitchy because Travis isn't pulling top competition, well, you know, I mean, WAL would have to step up, which Steve Kaplan is an awesome guy. He's a generous guy. I love Steve Kaplan to death. But he didn't want to pay Travis the 6 figures anymore that Travis was making because I mean, and it wasn't that Travis was doing anything wrong, and it isn't that Steve's doing anything wrong. It's just with the business mold, the way it was working out with Steve, there was no real point in paying Travis the 6 figures when he had the businessmen behind the scenes who could run the tournaments and get the contracts and everything else. So there was no reason to pay Travis that money anymore, which makes business sense. Travis went and formed the NAL, so he's got his own thing going on. They're not going to collaborate, you know, it's just not going to happen. And so, you know, and they're not going to meet he's not going to meet with WAL pullers off of WAL time. So that's the reason Travis isn't competing with big guys anymore. That's the long and short of it. So if anyone who's not under contract with the WAL, has a big name, wants to make a name, come be pulling against Travis, he'll be happy to pull you, and he'll put money on it. I'm telling you right now he will. Because he's still pretty well convinced he can beat Saplinkov, and I'm not sure he can't. I mean, he's great left-handed anyway. Right-handed, I don't know. I mean, he hurt himself pulling against Saban a couple years ago. And so I'm not sure he's ready to do all that right yet. But left-handed, yeah, I think he would get to the point to where he could pull probably anybody in the world left-handed right now. And it might take him a little while to get back there right-handed, but Travis's days of competition are not over by any stretch of the imagination. So, all right, if you have any questions about anything, guys, I'll be happy to answer. If you just want to talk about this, I'd love to hear what you have to say. I hope everybody's staying safe, wearing your mask where you need to, and all that stupid shit. I'm ready for this corona shit to go away. But have a good day, guys. Peace.